Dear students, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Hope this video finds you in good health. I have been making videos for a few days on various topics of English grammar. Hope those are very helpful for all of you actually to learn English. Today I am going to start a new grammatical topic and it's all about clause and their kinds with proper definitions and examples. So let's start the class. See the very topic written here, clauses and their kinds with definitions. On English Academy Devashish Hannal, the very first one is clause. As we are discussing clause, then we have to know the very definition of clause. See the very definition. A clause is a group of words having a finite verb in it and it is a part of a larger sentence. Then the very characteristics of a clause. A clause is a group of words. That means there are some words in a clause. There is a finite verb in a clause and it's a part of a larger sentence. Example, Ram is a good boy who is my brother. Ram is a good boy. The very underlined portion is a clause because there is a finite verb and it's a part of a sentence having a group of words, and who is my brother is also an example of a clause. There are some words and there is the very finite verb is. Next one, Netaji was a great patriot who was born in India. Netaji was a great patriot. The very underlined portion is a clause, is the very example of a clause. Who was born in India. It's also an example of a clause. Mr. Roy teaches me Bengali, but Mr. Das teaches me English. Both the two underlined portions have two different clause because all other underlined portions are with a group of words with a finite verb also. Then what type of clause the very underlined portions are? All this will be discussed by me later. Okay. Kinds of clause. Clauses of three kinds based on their functions as they work in a sentence or based on the very function of clause. We can divide clause into three categories. The very first one is main clause or principal clause or independent clause. Next one, dependent clause or subordinate clause. And the third one is coordinating clause. See the very definition of main clause. The clause which can express its meaning by itself, not depending on any other clause, is called main clause. Then such type of clauses do not depend on any other clause or clauses to express its meaning. Actually, they can express their meanings by themselves. Okay. As it is the principal part in the sentence, so it is also called the principal clause, principal part or main part. So as it does not depend on any other clause to express its meaning, so it is also known as independent clause. As I was absent from my school, I was punished. As I was absent from my school, I was punished. As up to school, there is one part of the sentence, of this very largest sentence. I was punished, the another part or the second part. Then I was punished and as I was absent from the school. See the very two sentences which are dependent and which are not dependent. Okay, I was punished. Suppose you say someone I was punished. Actually, the person whom you will say the very words I was punished, actually he or she will understand you. Okay, I was punished. It is totally independent and it can express its meaning by itself. So it is the main clause. And as I was absent from my school, what type of clause it will be? It is also discussed by me. Next one, subordinate clause. The clause which is dependent on the main clause to express its meaning in the sentence is called subordinate clause. As it is dependent on the main clause to express its meaning, it is also known as a dependent clause. As Rahman was whipped, he was punished. Okay, identify here the very dependent clause. As Rahman was weak, he was punished. It is said in the definition of a dependent clause in this way that the very clause is totally dependent on the main clause to express its meaning. Then find out the very main clause from this sentence. He was punished. It is independent or it is main clause. Okay. As Rahman was weak, the very underlined portion is totally dependent on this main clause to express its meaning. If there is no he was punished, then as Rahman was weak, someone, if you say someone as Rahman was weak, she or he will not understand you, what you are actually saying. As Rahman was weak, the very underlying portion is totally dependent on the main clause. As is totally dependent on the main clause, so it can be regarded as the sub clause. Sub clause. So it can be regarded as the sub clause. Then this one, as I was absent from a school, I was punished. As I was punished from school, it is totally dependent on the main clause. So that underlying portion is called sub clause. Sub clause. That underlying portion is called sub clause. Next one, coordinating clause. The main clauses which are connected by any correlative conjunction. Correlative conjunction, they are such as suppose and, but, or, etc. The main clauses which are connected by any correlative conjunctions are called coordinating clauses. Remember, when at least two main clauses are connected by any correlative conjunction, the dash, the sentence, there will be a sentence. The very word is left out. The sentence is compound. Then remember, to make a compound sentence, we have to need at least two main clauses and it must be connected using any correlative conjunction. Example, God made the world, but man made the town. God made the world, but man made the town. Both the two portions are main clauses, but main clause also, but they are totally related to each other, so they are correlated or coordinating conjunction. Coordinating clause, coordinating clauses. Okay. The sun rises in the east. It is the main clause. And sets in the west. That's when the sun sets in the west. Both the two parts have their own meaning to express in itself. So they are totally related to each other. So they are coordinating clause. Coordinating clause. Let's see the very example which is written by me. Actually, when we have already learned the very definition of clause. The very first one is Ram is a good boy who is my brother. It is said by me that there are two persons or in the sentence or two clauses there. Ram is a good boy. It's a group of words having a finite verb. Who is my brother? It is also a group of words having a finite verb. Ram is a good boy. It can express its meaning by itself. So the underlined portion is main clause. Okay. Who is my brother? It is totally dependent on the main clause. So it is sub clause. Sub clause. Next one. Netaji was a great patriot who was born in India. Both the two underlined portion are clauses. Netaji was a great patriot. It is the main part. It can express it in meaning by itself. So it's a clause and it's the main clause. Who was born in India, the very portion is totally dependent to express its meaning on the main clause, so it is the sub clause. Mr. Rai teaches me Bengali, it's a main clause. Mr. Das teaches me English, it's also an example of a main clause, but it is connected using but, and they are co-related to each other. So they are coordinating clause, coordinating clause, clauses, both them. See here, there are some tasks given by me for all of you, and you have to solve them at home. Identify the following as main and subclause with their kinds. Actually, which are the main clause or which are the subclause you have to identify, and what type of subclause they are. You have to also name the very kinds. Smith is my cousin who reads in class 8. Sachin was a great batsman who is the father of Sarath Tendulkar. That Netaji was a great patriot is known to all. We should not hate the food as they need our help. There will be full stop, no comma. My mother is cooking, but my father is writing. As they were honest, they are praised. What is done cannot be undone. Mr. Das loves his neighbors a lot, but they do not like him. Children are as beautiful as flowers are. He was born in London, but his father hailed from Nepal. So, dear students, this is all about the very class for today regarding clause. And remember, in my next class, I will discuss the very kinds of subclause. Actually, subclause can be divided into three categories. They are noun and nominal clause, adjective or relative clause, and adverbial clause. So to get the latest update, you have to subscribe my channel